All right, and we are going live.
Yes.
This
Here
is
we
something
go.
else. Well, we're in that thing where it's like uploading to live right now, so nobody can see us, but we are here.
But they know we're here. Well, no, they don't.
I need more light. I'm realizing that. Pretty dark.
Yeah, you're a little too backlit.
All right.
Well, if I just do this,
Yeah, stay that way. Yeah, that's good.
protects some of the light. Oh, that's the screenshot.
It's too late.
Unfortunately, the screenshot is of me, and it's perfect. I look like I'm crying.
Good. Make sure you switch to
All
gallery
right,
view.
everybody. For those of you tuning in, this is our 10th episode of QUARANSCREENPLAYS. We had a major undertaking tonight. We decided to write a script. We had a couple potential guests fall through, and so we decided to write a script beforehand. And I am currently putting the finishing touches on it. So maybe in 5 or 10 minutes or so, we'll be reading this monstrosity that we have cobbled together.
Yes.
But while I try to finish this, why don't you guys talk a little bit about the process that we've gone through to try and put this script together?
Yeah. So we really didn't know how to do this in the most efficient way possible, and we tossed around a lot of strange ideas, just like random one-liner punchlines that we had been sitting on, and we settled on an idea and decided the best way to write it was to make it 4 scenes long, and then to assign each of us one of those scenes and then write them simultaneously.
I think it's worth also noting, as great an idea that is, we also decided to help ourselves out by giving us only 10 minutes to write said scenes.
Well, yeah, and then we
And then
all sent them to
combine them.
Austin,
Yes.
so that he could combine and make sense of them. And we're still
I would
unsure.
say, I mean, it's going to make sense in the most like ground level thing. Things will flow.
Lots of imagination.
But guess what? The story is only going to get better, because after this, we're going to talk about it and then probably make it just like a brilliant piece of art.
Yeah.
I mean, that's assuming we won't have a brilliant piece of art by the end of in the next 5 minutes.
That's true.
So we're really excited about that. I wrote the ending. So for everyone who's been paying attention, that means that I had the basic concept and basically the main character's name, and that was it.
You had a hard job.
I wrote an ending, and I'll say it. I knocked it out of the park. It makes so I have no idea what the story is about, but I know how it finishes, and that is a perspective that no one else has.
I know the first middle part.
Yeah, you two had the second.
It'd be like knowing just the part where Simba's dad dies. And that's it.
So your part should be the best then.
Well, don't put that on me.
Wait, do I think that the best part of The Lion King is when Mufasa dies?
Is that what you're implying?
Implicitly, I guess. How else do you imply something, I guess?
Well, I
can guarantee it's not that good.
Oh, I guess out of process of elimination. Well, I guess Austin had the beginning. I had the third act.
Yeah, what was that like?
Well, that's usually the part of most suspense and most drama.
You had the fun and games though too.
Yeah, so I had the challenge of trying to come up with something that was high stakes,
without knowing anything.
Without knowing anything, any of the
stakes.
build. So I just went for the most. Austin's laughing because you know what I wrote, but I just had to raise the stakes really high. And I don't know.
He did in a way that did not at all match up with what everyone else was doing.
Yeah, so we will be reading this. I don't even know what characters are in. I know the main character, and then I included 2 other people who I thought made sense in the flow of the story.
I have 2 other people as well.
Oh, there are so many. So I don't even know what parts I'm reading for. I don't even know. Austin, I assume, will title this in a moment. As soon as he's just making sure everything even just like lines up.
I just want things to line up enough that, and in order to do so, I can't wait to talk about what it was versus what it's going to be.
Yeah, there's
I'm having to do some pretty harsh transitions to make these 4 stories convalesce into one.
I'm sad that I
you
think
guys are gonna have a time doing this.
I am sad because I think a lot of my thematic payoffs that I obviously didn't set up are going to be either eliminated or undercut by lack of proper setup, and that's just it hurts.
You don't know that though.
Yeah, it's right. I don't know. Here's the problem. I'm assuming that Austin is writing it to the ending. Like he's only setting things up to my ending as opposed to.
I'm not really at the moment.
No, I know that's what's sad. I don't. I'm sad to think of how many things I wrote changed. I'm gonna have afterwards.
There's a lot that changed what I wrote.
Yeah.
I'll have my original draft pulled up just in case there's a couple lines that didn't make it in there.
Yeah.
Austin's that stings. But Jordan.
Yeah.
You've written a lot. Get us inside the mind of a writer. How does someone work under a deadline?
Let's hear your master class.
You say that without having seen my part of the thing,
yes.
And I can tell you, as someone who hasn't written in a while, it's really difficult.
Yeah. How do you find inspiration when you're staring at the blank page?
Well, I can tell you the inspiration from about this specific, but I don't want to get into it.
No. But just
get into it.
Like, let's say someone is sitting in their dorm room. They're sitting in their dorm room in the film program or the script writing program at UCLA. Got rejected a couple times from that one.
Okay.
Wait, did you really?
Not the screenwriting. I think I applied for my master's in their cinema studies program and I did not get in. That one stings. Recommendations apparently didn't hype me up enough.
I'm sorry.
No, it was nothing to do with them. I was not good enough. Anyway, some UCLA kid in the screenwriting program he's like, I'm just not inspired. I'm never gonna write the next Boondock Saints. What would you tell him?
Say, you know what? You probably aren't. But you can make Boondock Saints 2 A Day at the Zoo.
Gosh dang, that is a great advice. That's great.
Crush the sequel.
Crush the sequel.
Yeah. Plagiarize.
Yeah.
Right?
What's cool is that if you took there's all these scripts online. If you went and copy and pasted an entire script and put it into Final Draft and then written by whatever your name is, that's like your story now. And you can get that
That's
made.
how that works. Yes.
Yeah. That's how
Austin is in focus mode. He's taking his headphones off.
I can still hear you guys chat stuff.
That's how Sean Penn wrote Milk, I think.
That's exactly.
It's a sequel. Or
Dustin Lance Black wrote Milk.
I know. Sean Penn's in Milk, right?
No, he wrote Milk too, though.
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
No, I don't know why.
Day old milk.
Milk 2 expired.
Wow, this is this normally this type of content would be behind a paywall, and we're just riffing off of that. No Patreon at all. That's really exciting.
I wish we were that talented to have any kind of Patreon.
I don't think talent has anything to do with whether or not someone has a Patreon.
That's true.
Ryan, what about you? You're sitting there and you know that you gotta produce in as long as it takes to make a Hot Pocket.
Well,
what is your thought process?
Max, first of all, I'm going to say that Hot Pocket is going to be extremely hot. We had a little longer than that, but
that's a bad microwave.
Yeah, yours is one of those day-long microwaves. But it was challenging, and like I said earlier, it was difficult knowing that I had to bring the suspense, and we had to jump right into the most high stakes part of the story. I knew that Jordan and Austin were going to bring in with a strong performance on their ends. And I knew you were going to come in from the from the conclusion and really just put everything together.
Just land the plane.
I feel like I'm watching The Last Dance. You're giving me like a post-game coverage here.
I mean, they were all over our receivers, and we couldn't get the ball to the end zone. But you know, at the third quarter, which is what I'm writing, you know, I think we played well.
We did each write a quarter of sports ball.
Yeah. We don't know if we won or not. I don't know if we won or not because you wrote the fourth quarter.
That's true, and I don't know if I won or not because I don't know what the game was about or which team I was.
So you were playing hockey, and that only has 3 periods, but you don't even know that.
They phoned that one in. Austin, how we doing over there? Not that
we're really close. We're really close.
Not that what we're talking about is bad.
Not
Max,
that we're stretching for time or at all. Like, that's not what we're trying to do.
Max, I have a question. How do you approach dialogue?
How are there still 5 people watching this?
It is a miracle. This is
Thanks,
crazy.
Mom and Dad.
How do I approach dialogue?
Yeah.
It'll be worth the wait, I will say.
Well, it depends. If I'm writing something like this, if I'm writing something where I want to be silly, I write there are sort of 2 things. It's what is the least funny, like the comedy is a circle. Like, what is the least funny way to deliver this, and how can or least funny, least clever way to do this? And then if you do that like precisely enough, it kind of comes back around to being funny. And then so that's one tactic. That's one tactic I use a lot. A lot of people would call that like lack of talent. But I call it my process. I also get a lot of mileage out of being like intensely sentimental, but in a way that has no like founding in like authenticity or truth. Just like the idea that everyone is desperately trying to wrap up a 40-minute family drama, but they're also thinking this will go on my reel. I find that that is where a lot of my inspiration comes from. Austin put his headphones back on, and I've got to think that's a good sign.
Yeah, I'm finishing like the last bit here, and then
great. Why don't Austin, have you named it, or do you want us to name it while we wait for you?
You guys come up with a name. You got the basic idea.
All right. Each of you, I want each of you to pitch a name to me.
Should we give them the log line?
No, just the name.
Just the name.
And then we'll
I mean, we could do the same way. You pick the first word.
Right, Jordan, you pick.
Jordan.
I'll pick the last word.
I'll pick the middle word.
I'll pick the last one. All right.
Yeah.
Jordan, what's the first word? So it has to be only 3 words. That's very tough.
Yes, this is difficult, but I think we can do it.
Essence of.
That's 2 words.
No, that's 2
it's a
words.
Phrase. Come on, essence.
Well, you leave me with very little.
Okay, essence.
Essence.
What in the?
I believe in you.
I feel like you only left me the word of.
No,
that's very
okay. Essence, comma.
Passion.
Heart. That's what it's called. How do you feel with that one, Austin?
Essence, comma, passion, comma,
what's it
heart.
called?
Essence, comma, passion, comma, heart.
I love it. Essence, passion, heart.
It's so dramatic.
We wrote a drama.
It really gets me.
We wrote something. All right, guys, I'm trying to write literally the last line of dialogue. Spoken by, and I can't stress this enough, former President Jimmy Carter.
What? Wait. The last line of like chronologically?
No.
I was like, Jimmy Carter was nowhere in my scene.
We still have 5 people. We've gone up to 6 people.
Who wrote Jimmy Carter?
Hold on. I did.
Yeah.
So should we say what we're doing again for the some people
for
did
the one person who hopped
in?
on.
Yeah. Because this is very confusing.
Yeah. So you may have tuned on for the normal thing here of reading an unproduced screenplay that one of us wrote in college. However, we're doing something a little bit. Yes, this one is still unproduced. This one we're doing a little bit differently. We had a guest fall through last minute. And we tasked ourselves with the challenge to, in the time between our guests following through and starting, to write a screenplay together. So we all got together about an hour ago, pitched a couple ideas, and then rough sketched out the 4 scenes, and then gave each of us, we divvied up the 4 scenes, and we each wrote it, having no idea really what was happening in any of the other scenes. Austin is currently stitching the last bits and pieces of those together, and we're going to read it brand new for the first time. The film is called Essence, Passion, Heart, written by Jordan Avery, Ryan Avery, Max Romanowski, and Austin.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot promise that this flows perfectly, but it is done.
We expect great things.
All right. Are you sending it to us?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I text it to you guys?
Yeah. How do we do parts?
All right. So, I will read the scene description, obviously. Ryan, you're going to play John.
Okay.
Nice.
I will play Jimmy Carter. Jordan, you're gonna play Alan.
Okay.
And Greg.
Who are
Alan
these
and
people?
Greg.
Max, you're gonna play the newsman.
Got it.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Good.
And Jordan, you're also gonna play Father Martin.
Okay.
I'll play the nurse.
Yeah, I wrote a nurse in there. So wait, what's the name? I'm the news anchor, and then Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Correct.
Great, I got it. Send us the
Cool.
script.
All right, I've sent it. Oh, I haven't sent it.
Greg, Alan, Father Martin, and who else?
I think it was just those 3.
Just those 3?
I think.
Yes.
Okay. Just 3. We're good.
And then Austin, would you how much of this do you feel like you have?
I accidentally texted that script to a friend of mine who texted me since you guys did.
Well, he gets.
Ian is going to be reading the strangest thing, and it shows up as just Essence, Passion, Heart. All right.
Oh man! All right, let's do this.
All right. Have you guys got the script?
It
Got
just
it.
came in. Yes.
One second. Hold on. I have to.
I'm copying it over.
To the 7 people who have stayed on and watched.
7. We are growing in number.
Thank
and this
you.
is an 8-page script.
So does everyone have it? Do not read ahead.
Okay.
I do not allow you to read ahead.
I just wanted to see if you kept the ending the same, like the very last line the same.
There was no time to change it.
Good.
All right, everyone. I am
do
proud. 23 minutes behind schedule. I'm proud to read Essence, Passion, Heart, written by the 4 of us. Literally finished 32 seconds ago.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. Interior office day. We're panning across a wall of photographs in a lavish, neatly organized home office. The one common denominator in each of these photos is John. In each picture, he's standing next to a different celebrity. Snoop Dogg, Brad Garrett, Betty White, etc. No. Oh, all right.
No.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, you got it all wrong. I transport the organs to the celebrities.
We finally see John. He's sitting at his desk on the phone.
If I don't care if you've got Fred Astaire's feet, I ain't buying.
He slams the phone down. He looks at the wall. He reaches up and grabs one of the pictures. It's of him and President Jimmy Carter. He begins to cry. The tear falls on the frame, perfectly splattering over President Carter's face.
Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy. Was it all worth it? Should I call Karen? Would she even pick up?
The picture comes to life and speaks back to him. You've spent so much time focused on other people's hearts, you forgot to focus on your own.
You're right.
Suddenly, the phone rings again. He sets the picture down, quickly composes himself, takes a deep breath, and picks up.
Heart of Gold celebrity organ transporters. You bring the gold, we'll bring the heart. How can I help you? Say that again.
He listens, his eyes widening in horror.
I'll be right there.
He jumps up and sprints to his fridge. Inside is a styrofoam cooler labeled Human Heart. He grabs it and rushes out the door. Exterior house day. John is running across his lawn toward a large white truck with the Heart of Gold logo emblazoned across the side. His neighbor, Alan, is lifting bags of mulch out of the back of his car.
Hey, John.
John nods in his general direction as he begins climbing into the truck.
You in a hurry?
John stops. He looks at his neighbor, hatred burning in his eyes.
Alan, what I'm about to do is more significant than anything you have ever done in your entire miserable life. While you're spreading mulch, I will be saving the life of one of our nation's, nay, our world's most beloved educators and children's entertainers. Do you know what it feels like to literally hold a life in your hands? To know that you could change the world just by accidentally taking a left instead of a right?
Alan stares at him, dumbfounded.
Of course you don't. But yes, I am very much in a hurry.
He throws the cooler into the truck and hops in after it. The truck peels away. Interior truck day. John flips on the radio. A newsman breaks news.
Traffic on the 215 is at a standstill after man deliberately collided with a milk truck in a protest against the rising cost of...
The broadcast is interrupted by John's phone ringing. He turns the radio off and answers. It's Greg, his contact at the local hospital.
Hello?
Hurry up, man. This heart's not going to last all day.
I'm on my way. Just hit a bit of traffic.
Okay, well, get here ASAP. There's not much time. He's about to he's about to become Bill Nye, the science guy.
Good one.
He hangs up. John looks in the rearview mirror. He's being tailed by a church van.
Not again.
Interior church van day. Father Martin is driving the church van. First Presbyterian is stamped on the side in a clean-cut decal. He's in hot pursuit of the truck. He gets on the stereo system normally used to call sinners to repent, now clearly pointed at John's truck.
Repent, for thou hast sinned. The Lord shall strike you down with his mighty power.
John grabs a microphone and speaks into it. His truck has a sound system too, for some reason.
You know, the Bible says, love thy neighbor. I'm pretty sure that means helping him with a heart transplant.
Bill Nye doesn't deserve or have a heart.
Scientifically speaking, that is insane. How would red blood cells get oxygen to his main organs? Besides, how do you even know that's who I'm driving this heart to?
Jesus told me.
Really?
No, Greg called me.
How do you know Greg?
He's my son.
I can't believe he never told me that.
As he says this, John crosses an intersection. The church van follows him. Suddenly, it's T-boned by a semi-truck.
Holy crap.
In the mirror, he sees Father Martin climb out of the van, completely unscathed.
He's not hurt at all? What are the odds?
Interior hospital day. John sprints through the automatic door so the door of the hospital, but has to do that weird shimmy thing because they don't open fast enough. Panting, he stops at the front desk and plops the cooler down on the counter.
One heart for the man who's stolen all of syndicated television's heart.
The nurse at the front desk looks confused. I'm sorry?
Hi, yes, I'm John from Heart of Gold Celebrity Organ Transporters. You bring the gold, we'll bring the heart.
Third floor.
Onward.
John bursts out in a sprint and ascends the stairs up to the third floor. He careens through the hallways shouting Bill's name.
Bill, where are you?
There are several patients looking strangely at him.
I guess you guys are more into Ken Ham?
Suddenly, Bill Nye the Science Guy bursts through the doors at the other end of the hallway, wearing a hospital gown and carrying a metal pole hooked up to an IV.
John, there you are.
Bill Nye the Science Guy, there you are. I'm not too late. I can still save you.
Whoa. Hold it up there, pal. You look a little worn out. Tough day.
John hesitates for a moment.
It's been a little hectic, yeah?
You a little sad?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds to me like you've been working all day taking care of my heart. But have you been making sure to take care of your heart?
A single manly tear falls down John's face.
You're right, Bill Nye the Science Guy. I've made it my entire life's goal to transport various vital organs to iconic celebrities in order for them to keep educating our youth in importance of science and fashionable neckwear. I never started a family.
Well, listen, John, I'm so proud of you. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you out for a milkshake on me. And we're going to set up your profile on a dating app.
Bumble?
Maybe Hinge. Who knows? We'll decide that over a malt.
And your heart?
Silly John. I never understood. My heart is wherever you are, pal.
John smiles. Bill Nye the Science Guy hugs him.
Now let's get you that wife, 2.5 kids, and a dog that you tolerate because you think it's the only thing that's keeping your wife from packing up her things and moving in with her sister.
That's all I ever wanted.
They walk away, arms around each other. They disappear around the corner. A bunch of nurses come out from the OR in a frenzy, chanting Bill's name in confusion. But it doesn't matter because John and Bill are safe and together. Fade to black.
Oh, wow.
Yes! That was pretty coherent.
Everything somehow flows. And Paul Yoder has pointed out the real heart transplant were the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, I think that's the idea I
True.
wasn't saying, but definitely
Oh,
circulated.
boy. All right, man, there is a lot to talk about for a script that was just written a few minutes ago.
It is miraculous in that way.
Wow.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about where I was coming from.
Okay.
So I wrote the first scene where John's at his house, gets the phone call, talks to his neighbor, and then gets in his van. That was all. I wrote all that. And then I received from Jordan a scene that had a little bit of dialogue with the newsman and then with a guy from the hospital named Greg. And then just a bunch of bullet points of what he thinks should happen after that. So I took all of his dialogue with the newsman and this heart's not going to last all day.
That's good.
And then I added, he's about to become Bill Nye, the science guy.
That's
Brilliant.
that's so funny.
And then at this point, I received from Ryan a Google Doc that included the John being chased by a priest in a church van. And
really...
in that draft, Bill Nye was also in the truck, which was a taco truck.
Yes.
Wait, he was in the church van or the
No, Bill Nye
it was
was
Bill
in
Nye and John in a taco
Okay.
truck being pursued by Father Martin.
That is a great visual.
It is a great visual. And so I had him look, he sees he's being tailed by the church van. For some reason, this is something that I decided has happened before.
Yes.
And so
I like
then
that.
Father Martin is talking to him over the loudspeaker from the church van. And originally it was a taco truck, so he had a speaker too. That's why I changed it. So that's why I said his truck has a sound system too for some reason.
For some reason.
And then I sort of adapted the conversation. The scientifically speaking, that's insane. How would red blood cells get oxygen to as many organs? That was so Bill Nye originally said that in Ryan's.
Oh, that is funny because that makes more sense. Bill Nye having the scientific capacity to discuss that.
And so then that is at the point I realized we hadn't set up the Bill Nye thing enough. So I had to have him explain why. How he knew that it was Bill Nye, so Greg became his son for some reason. And then I quickly realized that to set up Max's finale, we had to get rid of Father Martin as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
so I had him just get T-boned by a semi-truck.
I literally was about to put that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I just thought we need to get rid of him, so we did that. And then I didn't want to make that too morbid. So, of course, we see him climb out of the van and John says he's not hurt at all. What are the odds?
He could tell from there.
And then from that point, we pretty much kept Max's original ending.
Yeah, which helps because like
Paul said more like will die the science die. I did actually go back and forth on whether to call him Bill Nye the Science Guy or Bill Nye the Science Die. So it was not lost on me that die rhymes with two things there.
Well, that's of course that's the whole point of his name is that it rhymes.
That's true.
Austin, I have to know did you have the thing about calling Karen back?
No.
You added that.
I added that up to
okay.
set up the ending.
I mean, obviously the thing Jimmy Carter saying that you didn't take your care of your own heart. I figured you put that in there.
Max, no joke. No. Hold on. I did know that I needed to set up him wanting a family. I did not know that you wrote that exact line for Bill Nye at the end when I wrote.
Oh, I mean, I know we said we riffed off of something like that, but the fact we both tease up is
pretty
amazing.
much that exact same line. So that actually, when we were reading it here at the end, I was like, oh, that actually works out pretty well.
Yeah.
Max, I love the fact that Bill Nye did need surgery.
And I got in there, because this is actually, I haven't seen Bill Nye the Science Guy, like the show, since I was like 7. But they would chant his name, right? Like
yes,
song.
yes.
So I wanted to include them chanting his name at the end.
Bill.
That's why all the doctors come out and chant his name.
Ryan, I was actually this close to making one of the characters like a priest.
Yeah.
So is it like
so in my head I was like, I hope so in my head I originally thought that John would meet Bill and they would go to like whoever
they would go to the hospital together.
It was a consultation or something, like it was important, you know.
Oh no,
I needed some back and forth, so I was like, who else is there? So I was like, I'll just put Bill Nye there.
That's good.
Good. And then originally I was like, who's dead set on getting Bill out of the world? I was like, I feel like there are some pretty angry priests out there.
For sure. Bill Nye sort of,
the threat.
There are a number of Christians who aren't big fans of science.
Yeah.
Yes. I will say that I forgot what I was going to say. I think he's Father Martin is a great threshold guardian of like. He is.
Yes.
To generate some conflict before the climactic final scene in which
for sure.
Bill Nye
and then that semi
huffs.
truck is a beautiful ex machina to get him out of there as quickly as possible.
No pun. Keep going.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, I was gonna say because in my original one I wanted the guy whose heart, so the actual guy
who needed
his heart.
Oh. Yeah.
The transplant donor.
Yeah.
So the donor, his brother, to be like a very anti-Bill Nye guy. So it kind of works that
there were a lot of good ideas in Jordan's bullet points, but I received them at 7:54.
I completely understand.
Trying to type them out in 6 minutes was not going to happen. So
I completely understand.
Yeah. So what I spent those final moments doing is just trying to stitch those scenes together because I was surprised Deus Ex truck, you know.
Dang it. It was right there the whole time.
Paul.
Oh man.
Gosh dang it. That's
good. Austin, good job. Good job.
Great. Yeah, great way to
I will say,
man.
I had not even read everything word for word by the time we did it, but I'm actually pretty pleased with how that turned out. Also, now that we've done it once, I would like to do it again
with more time,
with not much more time.
Yeah,
I think
it took us way too long to
think of a concept.
Not even that, but to figure out how we were going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
This
if
setup
we
is-
came up with an idea and then had, instead of, because we all had 15 minutes to write our sections,
Yeah.
even if we had 30 minutes to write our sections,
That would be enough.
I think that would have been better.
Yeah.
And
I
more
agree.
time for you, obviously more time for you to try and
To
stitch
stitch it
everything
together,
Yeah, but honestly, for the fact that we decided we were doing this a few minutes before we got on Zoom. I mean,
Yeah.
this was
Yeah.
not the plan for tonight by any means. But I also now think this could be an entire show unto itself.
Yeah, this is a
I
different
know.
beast.
So
I love.
yeah.
I think the story is funny. I'm laughing.
I
Essence,
think the
passion,
concept's really
heart.
funny, and I will say Jordan. I want to give Jordan credit for having the original idea,
Yeah.
which is a funny idea. Which it wasn't. It was just rapid, like just someone who drives an organ transport truck.
Yep.
I don't know
That's it.
I don't know at what point it became celebrity organs.
Someone said celebrity organs, and it was great. I don't
And
know
then
who that
it
was.
sort of just all.
love
I mean,
love that tagline, by the way. The we
Oh.
deliver the gold.
Yeah, that's great.
What was
you
it?
bring the
it's
gold.
you bring the gold, we'll bring the heart.
We'll bring the heart.
That
Yeah,
is
the
good.
original tagline was it didn't quite make sense grammatically to me, but it was the only thing more famous than our clients is our service.
That's
It's fine.
That's good.
Something about it didn't
That's a
quite add up.
competitor.
yeah.
So, well done, guys.
Yeah. I feel tired.
This was quite a journey.
It's a
It
mental-
was
yeah.
exhausting, shockingly stressful.
Yeah.
Shockingly stressful to try to do that in the amount of time that we did it. But yeah, I mean, the idea of someone who drives an organ transport truck is already a pretty interesting concept. So Jordan, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So well done. I feel like I owe a thank you to the writers of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because all I was picturing at that scene where he's talking to his neighbor is the Wally scene from Dennis and Mac Move to the Suburbs.
Yeah, that's a fantastic. That makes a lot of sense.
I was just picturing that energy. That sort of fueled me into writing that.
and we felt it.
So,
hold on, we haven't cast this.
Well, one is
Oh,
obvious.
Oh,
Bill Nye
yeah.
the Science Guy as himself,
Yeah,
Jimmy
him.
Carter as himself.
Ken Ham as Father Martin.
Would Ken Ham come back?
Also, here's the deal. I also want to address something, which is there was a lot of talk in the comments tonight about my Jimmy Carter impression. There were 3 separate comments about it.
That's a lot.
Paul said flawless Carter, which I'm going to take as sarcasm.
Let's safe read on that.
Keith Avery, Jordan Ryan, your father said you nailed it, Austin. I'm going to take that as genuine.
Yeah.
And then my dad said, are you kidding? That is not a Georgian accent. So I'm going to say in general, it was a tepidly received Carter impression. To be fair, up until 90 seconds before we started reading this, pretty much, I did not have Jimmy Carter talking. I had him looking at a picture of him, but I decided to add in Jimmy Carter talking. So I did not have time to think through my accent at all.
I like to think that John does his Jimmy Carter impression
Like a
for the
ventriloquist.
picture.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Interesting. See,
that could have been the
No, I really like if there was time, I was going to write in like a line that was like, thank you, sentient Jimmy Carter picture that no one knows I have, or something. Like I started typing something out, but I couldn't quite come up with it in time.
And then he takes the Jimmy Carter picture throughout the whole journey, and Jimmy Carter gives him advice throughout the whole.
See,
the whole film.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a whole.
If there was more time. So, all right. I think I'm gonna call it a night there. That
All
was
right.
exhausting.
that took it out of me more than usual.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
It was a good one. I had a lot of fun. Tonight
that
was
was
I would say a much needed shakeup for the show for me.
I mean, 10th episode. We
Our 10th
really
episode.
shook it up.
So yeah, let us know what you think. I would like to do that again.
Yeah, that was very fun.
That was a good time. So
Oh, yeah.
everyone, thank you for watching. I can't believe we've maintained a pretty solid 7 viewer average, and I'm proud of that.
Huge.
So thank you guys, and we will see you. We'll see you next time. Who knows what we're gonna do? It might be this again.
Who knows?
So, oh wait, we didn't cast it.
Oh, well, we said Bill Nye.
Not that it matters. You know, I want Jimmy Carter to play all the characters.
Yeah, in a Nutty Professor-esque scenario.
Exactly. Jimmy Carter is everyone. My dad said, "Whose screenplay is it anyway?"
Is that like a whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Good one, Dad.
Good.
All right, everybody. See you next time. All right. So Sam pointed out to me last week that this
still
thing,
live.
I know, but the thing cuts off right when we do, and since it's a lag, so I'm looking for the moment that I put up my peace sign, and then I'm gonna stop the stream, and that's the moment the stream will stop.
I was confused by that. I'm watching the stream.